Dating a Sigma female? Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. She's not the type who needs saving, and she definitely doesn't play by anyone's rules. But here's the catch. If you're weak, this is gonna be one hell of a ride. Ready to know why? Welcome to today's video, where we're talking about why dating a Sigma female isn't for just anyone. If you've ever met a Sigma, you know she's got something special. She doesn't follow the crowd, and she doesn't ask for permission to be herself. She's independent, strong, and doesn't tolerate any nonsense. But most importantly, she's rare. Sigma females live by their own rules, and that's why they stand out in a world of so many. Let's be real for a second. Society has this idea that women need to be fixed, tamed, or shaped into some ideal partner. But not Sigma females. They challenge everything you know about relationships. People often misunderstand them, label them as difficult, or even say they're too much. Here's the truth. They're not too much. They're just exactly who they're meant to be, and that can be intimidating for the weak-minded. So, let's talk about why dating a Sigma female is a challenge. Because if you can't keep up, it's game over. 1. She's not afraid to be alone. If you're not emotionally strong, don't even try. Sigma females are comfortable in their own company and can thrive without a relationship. So, don't expect her to need you. She'll want you, but she'll never need you. That's the difference. From the moment she steps into the world, she's confident in who she is. She doesn't rely on others to feel validated or whole. If you think she's going to be sitting around, waiting for you to show up and complete her, think again. Sigma females understand that they're their own best friend, and that's a powerful place to be. They've figured out how to enjoy their own company without feeling lonely or isolated. She doesn't need someone else to fill a void because she has already filled it herself. Her inner strength comes from a deep understanding that happiness doesn't come from external validation, but from within. While some people may feel like they need a relationship to feel complete, a Sigma female doesn't play by that rule book. She's perfectly fine doing her own thing, focusing on her personal growth and exploring the world at her own pace. She's learned to rely on herself, and in doing so, she's built emotional resilience. Her self-worth is not tied to whether she's in a relationship or not, which is something many people struggle with. The truth is, dating a Sigma female is not about saving her or making her whole. It's about two strong individuals coming together to share their lives, not to fill each other's gaps. If you can't handle the idea that she is complete without you, then you're not the right person for her. She's already self-sufficient, emotionally and mentally, so the relationship needs to be a partnership, not a rescue mission. You'll find that she's more likely to push you to be your best self than to hold you up as some kind of emotional crutch. The Sigma female is independent, and she doesn't settle for anything that doesn't match her energy. She will never ask for someone to fix her or make her better because she's already doing that herself. You'll quickly realize that she won't drop everything for a relationship. She has her own goals, dreams, and ambitions. Her time is precious, and she knows how to prioritize the things that matter to her. If you want to be a part of her life, you have to match that level of dedication to your own goals. She's not going to stop what she's doing just to accommodate you. If she wants you in her life, it's because she sees value in the relationship, not because she needs it to feel fulfilled. She's not interested in clingy, needy behavior. She needs someone who understands the importance of independence and mutual respect. If you can't handle her self-sufficiency, you'll be left wondering why she's so distant, but it's not about you. It's about her understanding that she doesn't need a relationship to feel validated. It's about knowing that she is the architect of her own happiness. The truth is, Sigma females understand the importance of being emotionally strong on their own, and they won't settle for anyone who doesn't get that. So, don't come into her life thinking you're going to be her emotional savior. Instead, come with the understanding that she wants a partner, not a fixer-upper. If you can handle that, you just might be able to keep up with her. Stop here. If this resonates with you, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe for more empowering content. Now, let's move on to the next point. 2. she'll call you out. Sigma females are truth tellers. If you're not being real, she'll spot it and call you out. If you can't handle the heat, you're already out of the game. She's not the type to sugarcoat things or beat around the bush. If something doesn't sit right with her, she won't hesitate to speak up. Honesty is a big deal for her. She values authenticity, and she expects the same from the people around her, especially in relationships. If you're pretending to be someone you're not, or lying to make things look better than they are, she'll see right through it. It's not a game for her. When she calls you out, it's not because she's trying to pick a fight or tear you down. It's because she's being real, and she expects you to do the same. She won't tolerate dishonesty or games. A Sigma female believes that open communication is key to any relationship. If you're not being transparent with her, she'll call you out on it, no questions asked. You'll find that when you're with her, there's no room for manipulation, no space for pretending to be something you're not. She'll hold you to the same high standards she holds herself. She's not here for half-truths, and she definitely won't stick around for someone who isn't being genuine. If you've been hiding your feelings, playing it cool, or trying to play games, she'll see through that act in no time. That's the thing about a Sigma female. She doesn't deal with people who aren't straightforward. She doesn't waste time with people who don't have the guts to be open and honest. She won't tolerate passive-aggressive behavior or emotional games. She's a straight shooter, and if you're not willing to communicate clearly with her, then you're not going to make it. If you've got issues, tell her. If you're not happy, say it. And if you're interested in someone else, own it. There's no point in hiding or pretending, because she'll notice. And if you try to play her, you're not going to win. She doesn't mind confrontation, as long as it's about getting to the truth. Sigma females are strong enough to take the truth no matter how harsh it might be, and they expect the same from their partner. Don't expect her to be afraid to speak her mind. She knows what she wants, and she's not going to settle for less. If you're weak-minded and can't handle the honesty, it's not going to work. She wants a partner who can handle the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. You're not going to manipulate her into staying quiet, and you're certainly not going to get away with pretending to be something you're not. The best thing you can do is be upfront and open with her from the start. Show her that you're trustworthy, that you're strong enough to handle the real you, and she'll respect you for it. If you're not ready for that, then it's time to move on, because a Sigma female doesn't waste her time on people who can't handle the truth. Stop here. Drop a like if you agree that honesty is key in a relationship. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Now, let's continue. 3. She doesn't believe in drama. Forget playing games or throwing tantrums. Sigma females won't waste time with petty issues. If there's a problem, she's addressing it head-on. If you can't handle the straightforwardness, this isn't the relationship for you. Drama is something she simply doesn't have room for in her life. She's not about creating chaos or indulging in emotional roller coasters. Life is too short, and she's got bigger things to focus on. If you think you can stir up unnecessary conflicts, look for someone else. She's not the type to react to every small thing or get emotionally invested in trivial situations. If you're trying to drag her into your personal drama, don't expect her to play along. Sigma females understand that energy is precious. They won't waste it on petty arguments or unnecessary drama. If there's a problem, they'll discuss it calmly and move forward. It's that simple. She doesn't entertain people who thrive on conflict, manipulation, or emotional instability. A Sigma female isn't interested in being caught up in your drama or your need for constant attention. She values peace and balance. The sooner you realize that, the better. When you're with her, you need to understand that any emotional outbursts, mind games, or toxic behaviors won't fly. She has no time for people who create unnecessary drama. And let's be clear, this is not about being cold or indifferent. It's about emotional maturity. Sigma females know how to communicate effectively without escalating things unnecessarily. They know how to pick their battles. If you bring drama to her life, she'll either call you out or walk away. Don't think for a second that she's going to stick around just because you want to stir the pot. She knows her worth and won't let herself get dragged into toxic situations. She's not a punching bag for your emotional baggage. Instead, she'll look for someone who can keep things steady and mature. Relationships should be about support, growth, and communication, not constant drama. If you're looking for a woman who thrives on chaos, you're barking up the wrong tree. Sigma females will never allow themselves to be caught up in needless conflict. They know how to approach problems logically and maturely without creating unnecessary stress. A healthy relationship to her means peace and understanding, not constant fighting. She believes in addressing issues directly and without the extra emotional baggage. If you come into her life with drama, she'll look at you like you're wasting her time. She doesn't need it. She's got her own life, and she's not about to waste it on things that don't matter. If you can't handle that level of clarity and maturity, this relationship isn't going to work. It's simple. Bring respect, honesty, and calmness to the table, and she'll meet you there. But bring drama, and she'll shut it down. Sigma females are emotionally self-sufficient. They know what's worth their time and what's not. And drama? That's simply not worth it. If you're not on the same page, that's okay. But don't expect her to stick around for emotional chaos. She's not here for it. Stop here. If you're loving this content, like, comment, and subscribe. Keep watching because we're just getting started. Now, on to the next point. Fourth, her independence is non-negotiable. She values her freedom and personal space. If you're looking to control or limit her, you'll fail. She doesn't need you to define her. She's already a complete package. The Sigma female has built herself to be emotionally, mentally, and physically self-sufficient. She doesn't rely on anyone else to validate her existence or measure her worth. You'll find that she won't bend her boundaries just to fit into someone else's idea of what a relationship should look like. If you're the type who believes in controlling your partner or constantly checking in, thinking that she'll tolerate it, you're in for a rude awakening. She doesn't need anyone to complete her or fix her. She's already whole, and that's a huge part of her appeal. She's not the kind of woman who needs someone to make her feel validated. Her independence doesn't come from being alone. It comes from being comfortable in her own skin and knowing that she doesn't need anyone to define who she is or what she wants. She's got her own plans, her own dreams, and her own goals, and she's fully committed to pursuing them, whether or not you're in the picture. You'll quickly realize that she's fiercely protective of her time, her energy, and her personal space. She doesn't have time for people who want to infringe upon her autonomy or who want her to live life according to someone else's rules. She has her own boundaries that she's not afraid to enforce. If you're someone who feels threatened by her independence or thinks you can change her to meet your vision of what a partner should be, you're not going to last. She's already clear about who she is and what she wants. She'll never conform to fit someone else's expectations, and she expects the same respect in return. If you're the kind of person who constantly tries to save or fix her, or if you think that being in a relationship means controlling your partner's actions, you're just not a match. She's already established that she can thrive without you, and she's okay with that. She wants a partner who supports her independence, not someone who tries to take it away. If you can't accept her for the strong, self-sufficient woman that she is, then it's time to walk away. The Sigma female understands that in order to have a healthy relationship, both partners need to maintain their own individuality. She's not asking you to lose yourself in the relationship, and she certainly won't lose herself in you. She needs someone who respects her autonomy and supports her personal growth. If you're not on the same page with that, don't expect her to compromise. If you try to take away her independence, you'll only push her further away. She's not going to let anyone dictate how she should live her life. In the end, it's her independence that makes her so powerful, and it's also what makes her incredibly attractive to the right kind of person. If you're someone who values your own independence and understands the importance of mutual respect, you'll fit perfectly into her life. But if you're looking to control, manipulate, or limit her in any way, you'll quickly find that she's not the one for you. She's already complete, and she'll never allow anyone to make her feel like she's not. 5. She's emotionally unavailable at times. Sigma females are selective with who they let in emotionally. If you're expecting her to wear her heart on her sleeve, think again. She'll share when she's ready, and if you can't respect her pace, you'll be stuck on the outside looking in. One of the most misunderstood aspects of a Sigma female is her emotional availability. She isn't cold or indifferent, she just doesn't believe in rushing her emotions or being emotionally open to everyone she meets. The truth is, she's been through enough to know that emotional vulnerability is a privilege, not a right. She won't just give it away because someone's in her life for a short period. She doesn't wear her feelings on her sleeve, and that's something many people find hard to understand. If you think she's going to pour out her heart to you on the first date or in the early stages of a relationship, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. She's not going to rush into emotional intimacy, and she's not going to do it just because you want her to. She's worked hard to protect herself emotionally, and she's careful about who she lets in. A Sigma female isn't going to reveal everything about herself just to please you. She's cautious about who she trusts with her feelings. This doesn't mean she's playing games or being dishonest. It simply means she's setting boundaries and waiting for the right person to prove they deserve her trust. She wants a partner who understands that emotional closeness takes time and can't be forced. If you try to rush her or pressure her into being more emotionally available than she's comfortable with, you're setting the stage for failure. She doesn't need to explain her boundaries to anyone. If you don't respect her emotional pace, she'll distance herself and probably walk away. And that's exactly what makes her emotionally unavailable at times. She controls her emotional energy and shares it only when she feels safe doing so. This emotional selectiveness is not a weakness, it's a strength. She knows that not everyone deserves to know her deepest thoughts, fears, or dreams. This isn't about playing hard to get or trying to manipulate emotions. It's about self-respect and emotional maturity. She will let you in, but only when she feels ready. It's important to remember that the Sigma female has spent years learning how to protect her heart, and she's not about to let someone undermine that just because they want to feel close. If you can't handle her taking her time, then you're not the right fit for her. It's a test of patience, understanding, and respect for her boundaries. If you respect her need for space and time to open up, you'll eventually get to experience her emotional depth, and when she shares with you, it will be genuine. However, if you push too hard or expect instant emotional vulnerability, you'll only drive her away. Emotional intimacy with a Sigma female isn't something you can force. It's something that has to be earned. So if you're expecting her to wear her heart on her sleeve or act emotionally available 24/7, you're going to be disappointed. Respect her emotional pace, and you'll earn her trust and love. Don't respect it, and you'll find yourself out of the picture before you even realize it. 6. She values substance over small talk. You'll need to keep up with meaningful conversations, not just surface-level chatter. If you don't have depth, she won't waste her time. She's looking for someone who can match her intellect, not just her looks. Small talk is not her thing. A Sigma female doesn't have time for pointless conversations that don't add value. She wants someone who can engage her mind, someone who challenges her and keeps her on her toes. If you're the type to talk about the weather, gossip about others, or offer up generic "how was your day" exchanges, don't expect her to stick around. She's not interested in filling silence with superficial chatter. What she wants is substance. A Sigma female craves intellectual connection. She wants to be able to talk about anything, from deep philosophical questions to current events, or even her passions and dreams. She doesn't just want a partner who knows how to engage her in basic small talk. She wants someone who can offer new perspectives, challenge her ideas, and get into deep conversations that go beyond the surface. If you don't have anything of value to offer when it comes to conversation, she's going to get bored fast. Sigma females need a partner who can keep up with their thoughts and ideas. She doesn't want someone who's just there to look good or make her laugh with one-liners. No, she wants someone who can bring something to the table intellectually. If you can't do that, then you're probably not going to last in her life. She's not interested in a relationship where you just sit around and talk about shallow stuff. She's after someone who can match her on a deeper level, someone who can engage her mind and make her think. This isn't about having the most knowledge or being able to quote famous philosophers. It's about being able to dive into conversations that matter and are meaningful, whether they're about personal growth, global issues, or even just your own unique thoughts and ideas. She values a connection that goes beyond the surface level, and she expects the same in return. If you can't offer that, you're just not going to get her attention. She also isn't the type to entertain fake conversations. If you're just saying things for the sake of saying them, she'll spot that instantly. Sigma females respect honesty, authenticity, and depth. They need someone who can connect with them on a genuine level, not someone who's just there to fill the silence. If you're not offering meaningful conversations and valuable exchanges, she'll find someone who can. If you're with a Sigma female, you better step up your game. She's looking for more than just superficial chats. She wants someone who can bring substance to the table, someone who can keep her engaged, challenge her, and make her think. If you're not that person, don't waste her time. She has better things to do than talk in circles. 7. She's not impressed by the usual charming acts. Buying her flowers? Trying to impress her with expensive gifts. Nice try, but that's not what she's looking for. She values authenticity and someone who can offer more than material things. If you think winning her over is just about throwing money at her or making grand gestures, you're in for a rude awakening. A Sigma female doesn't care about flashy gifts or surface-level acts of charm. What she cares about is depth, meaning, and how genuine you are. She's had her share of people trying to impress her with gifts, money, and superficial actions, and she's seen through all of it. She's not easily swayed by someone trying to buy her affection or throw around grandiose gestures to win her over. Flowers and chocolates? Yeah, they're nice, but they don't get you anywhere with her. If you're trying to impress her with these conventional tactics, you're wasting your time. She's looking for something more substantial. She values genuine acts of kindness, thoughtful conversations, and real connections. If you're relying on material things to get her attention, you're missing the point entirely. It's about how you make her feel, not what you can give her. Sigma females are not impressed by people trying to be someone they're not. They can tell when someone is faking it or when they're trying to impress with empty gestures. She values sincerity over anything else. If you want to win her over, you have to show up as your true self. Don't try to be someone you're not. And don't use money or fancy gifts to try to fill in the gaps where your personality or character are lacking. She doesn't need that, and she won't be fooled. She's about authenticity and substance, not about keeping up appearances. She won't fall for the charming acts that are only there to hide the lack of real connection or emotional depth. If you're trying to woo her with empty promises or material things, you'll just end up wasting her time. She needs someone who can connect with her on a deeper level, someone who doesn't need to rely on external validation or shallow tactics, someone who's real, genuine, and confident in who they are without needing to prove it through stuff they can buy. A Sigma female has no interest in shallow relationships based on materialistic gestures. She wants someone who can offer emotional depth, mental connection, and a bond that goes beyond just the surface. So, if you're thinking you can impress her by throwing money around or buying her a fancy dinner, think again. She's not here for that. She wants someone who can engage her mind, challenge her ideas, and offer real, meaningful connections. If you can't give her that, then you're wasting your time. The only thing that will impress her is when you show up as yourself, genuine, honest, and emotionally available. Anything else will just fall flat. 8. She'll push you to be better. A Sigma female won't let you stay stagnant. She'll challenge you to grow, improve, and break your own limits. If you're not willing to work on yourself, this won't work. Being in a relationship with a Sigma female is not for the lazy or complacent. She is constantly growing, evolving, and pushing herself to be better, and she expects the same from her partner. She doesn't want someone who's content with just coasting through life. She wants someone who's willing to step up and push beyond their comfort zone. If you're the type who's just okay with where you are, she's not going to sit back and let you stagnate. She's not interested in settling for someone who's not striving for greatness. If you want to be in her life, you better be ready to level up. The Sigma female knows that relationships are about growth. It's not just about being comfortable with each other. It's about both of you growing individually and as a couple. She'll challenge you in ways that will force you to confront your weaknesses, push you out of your comfort zone, and hold you accountable for your own growth. She doesn't do things halfway, and she won't let you either. She'll ask you the tough questions, make you think critically, and hold up a mirror to show you where you can improve. And if you're not up for it, you're not going to last. Sigma females don't settle for mediocrity. They are high achievers, and they surround themselves with people who share that same drive for improvement. If you're not working to become your best self, she'll have no problem walking away. She wants a partner who's equally motivated, someone who can keep up with her pace and challenge her just as much as she challenges them. If you're complacent or lazy about your own personal development, it won't take long for her to realize it. And when she does, she'll stop investing her time and energy into the relationship. She wants someone who's just as passionate about growth as she is, someone who understands that progress never stops. This doesn't mean she expects you to be perfect. Far from it. She understands that growth is a journey, but she does expect you to be actively working on yourself. She doesn't want someone who is stuck in old habits or who refuses to improve because they're comfortable with how things are. If you're not actively trying to better yourself, she won't waste her time. Being with a Sigma female means always striving for more. She wants someone who is willing to put in the effort to better themselves, whether it's emotionally, intellectually, or physically. If you can't keep up with that, you'll find yourself falling behind. She won't stick around for someone who's not pushing their own boundaries, and that's a huge part of what makes her such a powerful partner. If you're ready to evolve alongside her, then this could be the relationship of a lifetime. But if you're not prepared to grow, she's not going to waste her time with you. It's simple. She pushes you to be better, and if you can't handle that challenge, you're not the one for her. Here's the thing. Sigma females don't just exist. They change the game. They're not sitting around waiting for anyone's approval or permission to live their lives the way they want. They break barriers, defy norms, and pave their own paths. Look at some of the most powerful and influential women in history. Many of them embodied traits of a Sigma female. Think about women like Marie Curie, Oprah Winfrey, and even figures like Eleanor Roosevelt. These women didn't follow anyone else's blueprint for success. They made their own. They didn't conform to what society thought they should be. They didn't wait for someone to give them a seat at the table. They created their own. The Sigma female doesn't need validation from anyone to know her worth. She doesn't care about fitting into society's mold of what a woman should be. She defines herself, and that's what makes her extraordinary. She moves with confidence, understanding that her uniqueness is her strength. She thrives in a world where most people are still trying to fit in. She pushes herself to the limit because she knows that's the only way to truly evolve and make a mark. This isn't a game for the faint-hearted. If you can't keep up with her ambition, her drive, and her ability to push boundaries, you'll be left in the dust. She doesn't slow down for anyone, and she certainly doesn't wait for someone else's approval. If you're not ready to match that level of energy and passion, you won't last long in her world. But if you're someone who's willing to rise to the challenge, you might just find that being with a Sigma female is the most rewarding thing you'll ever experience. She'll push you to be the best version of yourself, not just because she wants you to, but because she believes you can be. A Sigma female doesn't just settle for the bare minimum, and she'll encourage you to break your own limits too. The partnership isn't about bringing each other down or trying to outdo one another. It's about pushing each other forward to become the best versions of yourselves. So, while being with a Sigma female can be challenging, it's also one of the most rewarding experiences. If you can rise to meet her energy, she'll become someone who helps you reach places you never thought possible. But if you can't keep up, you'll find yourself alone, struggling to keep pace. You either rise with her or you get left behind. So, why is dating a Sigma female not for the weak? because she doesn't need someone to complete her. She's already whole, already strong, and already confident. She doesn't need anyone to fill any gaps because there are none. She is her own person, and that level of independence can be intimidating. If you can't handle that level of strength, self-sufficiency, and fearlessness, this relationship isn't for you. But if you're strong enough to match her energy, you'll find a partner who challenges you, inspires you, and stands by your side through anything. She's not looking for someone to hold her hand. She's looking for someone who can walk beside her, someone who can keep up with her pace, her ambition, and her unrelenting drive. What do you think about Sigma females? Are you ready to rise to the challenge of dating someone who knows exactly who she is and what she wants? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out my other videos for more empowering content. Sigma women are living life on their own terms, and so should you. Stay true to yourself and keep pushing forward. Catch you in the next one.